Oh, we're live. Hey, you know what? We are live, and this is the show that you've been waiting for, Mike. This is Comic Book School. If it's Tuesday, it can mean only one thing. It's time for Comic Book School Live. Cue the music, Mike. Awesome. We need an intro video again and some play-in music, don't we?
We do. We could play the outro music.
All right. So, Mike, you helped come up with this idea. I had this idea rolling around in my head, and you helped me flesh it out. The title of the show tonight. Why don't you read it so I can have a drink of water because I've been rushing?
Oh, don't be rushing. The title of the show tonight is Your Heroes, Your Rules. Why you need to create characters like ...
There you go. Mike, we are going to be talking about creating comic book characters that you wish that you could write, but you're going to be able to write your own that are similar. We're going to give you some rules and 5 tips for making your own characters. We're going to have a pop-in guest later on, Mike, so get the pop-in guest graphic ready. I think we have a lot of comments already coming on.
Yes, we do. Yes, Andrew is 100% correct.
Oh, it's a tough crowd, my friend.
We
It's a
got
tough
a bunch of
crowd.
people. We got Brian there. He's saying, hey, we got Detective Seaberry's here.
Oh, we haven't seen Seaberry in a little while. Costa, nice to see you. Redheaded Ed closing us out already. Redheaded Ed, we'll see you in a couple days. Hey, Mike, you want to ask me what's behind me, right?
I was just about to ask you, what's behind you? Why is your office such a mess?
Yeah, my office is such a mess. Hey, Victor. So after doing the exhibit in Carteret, I got inspired to start recasting comics in resin again. This is a cover to Weapon X cast in resin.
Nice, very nice.
This is a full issue of Batman from 1960 something.
Oh,
so that one is done like that. Like that, nice. I did just the cover. This is also a 60s issue of Detective. I like this new mold that I have. I like the arch.
Oh, that's nice. Did you had to cut that nicely? That nice arc.
Yeah, I wanted to make something a little bit useful. I took this legendary page off of the X-Men #1 with Jim Lee art, and it's a tray. So you can put something on your desk and use this as a tray. It's the actual page, sealed forever.
Oh, that's a new mold as well.
Yeah, I wanted to show you what it looks like in the mold. So this is the mold, one of many molds, and then you pop it out of the mold like so. And actually, I'll go a little bit bigger. Can I go bigger?
The other way. There you go.
There you go. And you pop it out of the mold like this. And this one's still a little sticky, so I'm only going to touch the edges. This is a page out of Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X.
Look, you put sparkles in there too.
I did put sparkles in there. I didn't know if you'd be able to notice that. But yeah, that's how it comes out of the mold. This takes a couple of days to do and cure properly, but I wanted to be ready to hand them out to some friends at Comic-Con.
Where are you getting all this? Where are you getting all this resin?
He took one of my Batgirls.
Okay, very nice.
He was like, I love her motorcycle, and I had 2 of these. And nice. I've got a theme here going with Weapon X.
Okay, that's a good cover.
And then because everybody likes something different, I found a bunch of love romance comics. This is Millie the Model.
Well, who doesn't remember Millie the Model?
You like the Batgirl one?
Like the Batgirl one.
Might be able to work something out. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, Mike. That's why the...
Oh, my background. I forgot to turn my background on.
Oh, you forgot to turn your background on. You're going to reveal where you are.
Yeah,
which is strictly forbidden in your house. Somebody might be able to figure out from your window shape where you are, Mike.
It's not working. Why isn't this working?
So, I see Barry already in there with the jokes. Hero ain't nothing but a sandwich.
Yep.
Hard to believe that he's a writer. And speaking of writers, Andrew Campbell, he also Substacked up, Mike.
He did Substack up. Yes, he has He has a good Substack.
Yeah, we'll be touching on your Substackery tonight on this episode. But tonight we're going to be getting into the crux of our story, Mike. But first, who am I? If you're new to the show, my name is Buddy Scalera. I'm a comic book writer with a long history in the industry and a long history as a comic book educator. I couldn't get that out. I am joined by my good friend, Mike Fasolo, where we met in the comic book business, but Mike moved on to Hollywood, where he's a 3-time Emmy Award-winning, 2-time Annie Award-winning screenwriter, and will be off next week because he has some work to do.
Yeah.
Vision show that he's working on that he can't really tell us much about, but we're pretty excited for Mike and anybody in Hollywood who's able to get paying work these days.
It's not a good time right now.
Not a good time. It's not a good time.
We got somebody new.
We got a new person. Hold on. Throw on the round of applause in the welcome to the show where you get your badge for being the first show. Congratulations. Thank you. And you're a little welcome. Nice to see you. I'm glad you've been bringing up the old streams. We do appreciate that. And yeah, catch some of the old shows, folks. If you haven't caught the old shows, rewatch them and see if they hold up. I don't think they do. I think they do. All right. So, Mike, we did check out part 1, making logos, and then we did some other things that were related to making comics. Like I said, I am secretly teaching not a master course, but a pretty good course here where we are diving into different topics that are related to all of our viewers who are aspiring artists, aspiring writers, or working as artists and writers who want to level up their game or do something creative or even just break in. We have done branding, we've done characters, we recently did logos, and tonight we're going to get into building out your heroes with your rules. And I didn't know if it would play well on the thumbnail if I put archetypes and analogs on YouTube. So I'm just going to do it here so that people understand. Real quick, Mike, you're a word person. Do you understand the concept of an archetype and an analog?
Analogs, not so much. Archetypes, yes.
I
don't know. Tell me what an analog is.
I will show you what an analog.
Only an analog.
So what is an archetype, Mike? Just first, what is an archetype? That you know.
It's basically, what every character in the certain genre is. Like a hero, he's the big buff kind of guy. He goes out like an Indiana Jones type of guy. He's like the archetype of a hero.
So an archetype is sort of one of the best representations of that character.
Yes.
An analog is a character that is similar to it in spirit and represents the characteristics of that character, but is not necessarily that character. And that comes down to what we're going to talk about tonight. In all likelihood, statistically, it is very unlikely that any of us here, including you and me, will ever get to write our dream characters, much less multiple dream characters.
That's true.
Very few of us will ascend to the level of Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Waid, Grant Morrison, and be able to work on whatever characters that they would love to work on. And it's not worth waiting. Life is far too short. It's true, Matthew. Life is far too short to wait for somebody to give you permission to write their character. A better approach is for you to make a character that is wholly your own, but perhaps inspired by the archetype. Yes. And a character that is inspired by the archetype is often referred to as an analog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the analog is representative of the characteristics that you would like to write about. And, I have certain characters that are big characters like Spider-Man that I would love to be able to write a few issues, and then lesser known characters. One of my favorites is Machine Man,
yes.
Grendel, different characters that I would love to be able to get a chance to write. I'm going to ask you before we go on, is there one or two dream characters that you wish you would always be able to write, and yet you're pretty sure you won't be able to do it?
I would love to do some of the X-Men.
Some of the X-Men, but which of the X-Men? Do you like a main core book? Or
I would like to do like an X-Men team book, but if I just could have my one character that I like the most, it would probably be Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Hold on, let me put my camera down a little bit here. Now, why Nightcrawler? I remember you brought up that story that you loved of Nightcrawler. What is it about Nightcrawler that you love,
I
Mike?
was just always a big fan of his. He, he's got the teleportation thing, which would be awesome, and he was just a great character in my eyes. He wasn't, the powerhouse of the team, but he always came through in the end.
Now, is Nightcrawler an archetype or an analog of any character that you can think of? Do you think he was based on any character? I know that they said he had Errol Flynn tendencies, and
Yeah, they
swashbuckling.
changed that. Yeah, they made him more of a swashbuckler later on in the series, but I always just liked him as as a not a background guy, but not somebody who's out front, just popping in and out, doing his thing. And he had a great moment in X-Men 2, I think it was. Was it 2? Yeah.
He did, yeah. And then when he goes and infiltrates the White House,
and he's just teleporting all over and destroying all the Secret Service guys. Oh, we got Deanna. Yes, X-Men.
Oh, Deanna's here. Deanna's going to be hosting next week, Mike.
I heard she will be here.
I'm not even going to be here. It's just going to be her. We'll see. What's his catchphrase?
Bamf.
No, it's Hergot. What is it? Something like
that? Something like that.
Something like that.
Hey, Seabury agrees with me. Bamf.
And one of the things about Nightcrawler, and it is worth wunderbar. You're right. You might be right. What?
She doesn't know she's hosting next week.
You are hosting solo next week, Deanna. One of the things about Nightcrawler in the origin story, right? He was part of a circus sideshow, and then they attacked him, and they had him. It was a little bit Frankenstein, a little bit Hunchback of Notre Dame, and there was a lot of story borrowing and lifting from other archetypes, but then they twisted it and made it their own, which is a lot of what we're going to be talking about now, Mike. Which is first we're going to talk about certain archetypes and analogs, and then we're going to talk about 5 tips that you can use if you would like to write Nightcrawler but cannot. What are some of the things that you can do, Mike, to be able to tell some stories if you really wanted to tell Nightcrawler stories, but it's unlikely that you ever will?
I'm interested to find out.
I don't mean to be depressing. I want to be a realist.
Well, yes, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. So a good archetype and analog, and it's not even subtle, Superman, and then literally an homage character on an homage cover was Supreme. Did you ever read Supreme?
Back in the day I did read Supreme.
And when it first came out, it was about as homage can be. And in Image, when they launched with quite a few homage characters, and including some that they themselves had built up at Marvel Comics and brought over to Image as their own, and also some other characters that they developed that were similar to the archetypes, but then added an analog to it. Alan Moore went so far as to make Supreme quite literally almost a replica of 60s, late 50s, early 60s Superman stories.
So he wasn't the planet moving superhero.
He actually was, and they had these beautiful stories. So everybody talks about Grant Morrison's run. I think it's All-Star Superman. If you like All-Star Superman, you should also check out The Story of the Year by Alan Moore on the Supreme series. It's fantastic stuff. It is similar enough to Superman that you know what he's going for, but different enough that it is unique and stands alone on its own.
Yep, and that's true. Yes, isn't Omni-Man a Superman analog as well? Yes, he is.
Seabury did his homework. We'll be talking about Omni-Man in this, with Omni-Man having a slightly different twist than Superman.
Could be the Blue Devil. That's true.
Yes, actually, you would do a good job with Blue Devil, Mike.
I would like Blue Devil. He was good.
All right, here's another one, an archetype and an analog. Actually, there's a lot of analogs for Batman.
Yes.
Peak physical condition, all the gadgets in the world. You could, it could be Mission Impossible. It could be almost any character that uses peak physical training, gadgets, and if that character is wealthy, male or female, it just makes the story that much better because then that character has access to all kinds of super powered tools, cars, and gadgets. Now, how familiar are you with Nemesis?
I do not know Nemesis at all.
So I was on the fence. I probably should have chosen Moon Knight. Moon Knight is quite literally Marvel's answer to Batman.
Yes, there's also the Midnighter from The Authority. He's the Batman analog.
And the twist on that for both Nemesis, that is, I agree with you, Drawn Swords. Both Nemesis and Midnighter are both brutal and willing to kill and use guns.
Yeah, yes.
So early Batman stories. Batman actually, I think in issue 1, 2, or 3, shoots a criminal on a moving train and just kills him.
Really?
Yeah, early stuff.
Huh.
It wasn't later until they created the rules base around Batman. But Batman. So talk to me, Mike. What is Batman an archetype of in terms of characters?
He's the dark hero. He's the guy that fights for the little guy.
He's a vigilante. He works outside of the law. And of course, no superpowers. Nemesis is terrific. They have started republishing Nemesis. I have not read the sequels, but the first Nemesis series, Mike, highly recommended. And then visually, you can see that character is almost a complete image of I just noticed that somebody walked into our green room, and I want to make sure that you're ready, Mike. So we're gonna pause here for a minute because we have a pop-in guest. Do you have our pop-in guest graphic ready?
We're in the.
All right, I got it. We're gonna bring him onto the stage. Mike, get the applause ready because our pop-in guest tonight is here to surprise and delight. Please welcome our friend Sean Chen, everybody.
Hey, Sean Chen.
Everyone can guess who it was because I practically live in that green room. I'm like Matt Damon in your green room, except that you let me on your show way too much. I really appreciate it. But I promise
let
I'm here
you on
for
the
a
show. Yeah, that's what it is, Sean. We let you on the show because you're such a pest, Sean. We're so lucky to have you as a partner in our show. I don't know what that hand signal means.
That's waving. Hello.
Is that what it is? I don't know why that hand looks. That's weird. Yeah, you could be in the same house.
Sean's downstairs. I'm upstairs.
He's calling you from inside the house. Say hi to Victor. Everybody waving to you, Sean. Everybody's happy to see you.
Hey, Victor. Yeah.
So, Sean, you're here for
you
Sean. You're here for a reason. Because hold on, let me pull up the correct slide. I have to pull this up because I wasn't sure when Sean would be coming. We got to pull the Chrome tab up. Sean, big night for us. Round of applause. Another hit that applause, Mike. Tonight, you launched your Kickstarter. Did you already have $9,000 pledged? You just launched it like an hour ago.
well, no, not an hour ago. It launched at noon today.
Still, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain. Like, I can't complain. You know that Kickstarter is they're on strike. So I was told by my publisher, Carl, that, we did a Kickstarter before for issues 1 through 3. He said that 90% of the first day take came from the Kickstarter community. So when Kickstarter puts out an email blast and then brings people in, that was not available to us this time. Kickstarter is their offices are pretty much closed because they're on strike. They happened to go on strike right before we launched and so we're just kind of flying solo in the wind. And so that $9,000 there is the community. It's basically people when I come on your show and then I talk to like Redhead Ed or whatever, like they want to check out what I do. They are very nice about opening up their wallet and supporting my work. So yeah, so
Does that say Gareb
did
Seamus?
okay despite the fact. Did you what?
That says Gareb Seamus.
Oh yeah, Gareb. Yeah.
I don't see
Gareb
like a
gave me
testimonial from Mike Fasolo and Buddy Scalera. I mean,
well, I guess because Carl Choi put this together, so he'd have to know you guys pretty well.
All right, I'll have to talk.
But yeah, he hangs out with Gareb.
You can send him our information.
There's Sean, the
so
Iron Man
that's Daniel
subtly in
Wu,
the
my
background.
co-creator.
And Sean, you partnered with a small name actor, I guess, just some guy.
Oh, a little nobody, Daniel Wu from Into the Badlands fame, a martial artist. He's in a lot of great things now, and who knows what he's gonna turn up maybe in like a Marvel movie or something. Who knows? So yeah, he's partnering with me in this and helping create it, and we did this thing called Evermind, and I've been working on it for the last few years, and it's finally you can buy the entire 6 issues that tells a complete story, so you can go and fish through all the tiers and see which one's for you. But there's a lot of cool stuff there. But yeah, I really hope people will check it out. Buy the comic, read the comic, and then pick your jaw off the floor because it's so awesome.
Now, Sean, I see you wearing your 24/7 shirt as I'm scrolling through this. Where can they find you this weekend at New York Comic Con?
We're at the VV booth. So if you know VV, they do digital collectibles, and I'll be there. I think at like 12:30 and around like 3 for 2 signing sessions with Daniel Wu. So if you're a big martial arts fan, he'll be there with me, along with Riccardo Federici, whose art is up there right now, that oil painting. We'll be signing together, and we'll be signing copies of this. So please come check us out and meet Daniel Wu. Get a picture of Daniel Wu and get a signature from me. Do not mix it up. You don't want a picture of me.
What about Gareb Seamus?
Oh yeah, Gareb will be dropping by, I'm sure, because Gareb is big into digital collectibles now, so he's actually creating a lot of stuff. So,
Sean, this is a really impressive Kickstarter page. I mean, this is like somebody put a lot of work into this.
In depth.
Yeah, that's the little boutique company that they put that together. I make the comic, I write it, and I draw it, and they handle everything else. So, I heard that this is a pretty cool tier. Like, there's some original art commission.
You can get a commission done by you?
Yeah. I think those slots might have filled up first, but we may actually have put out some more. So if you want a commission, you have to buy the comic, and that's not the worst thing in the world because you have a great read. So
wow. Oh, and wow, look at these tiers that not the tiers, the what do you call it?
Yeah, I didn't look at
stretch
this.
goals.
I guess these are all kind of like wishful thinking, I suppose, right? Good Lord.
Well, I hope you break 70,000, and I think that's pretty amazing. I am super impressed. I am so impressed that that Kickstarter went on strike because of your campaign.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to do all the work, I guess.
They were like, this is too much.
But
we're out.
Because Daniel Wu is involved and he's like a big kind of celebrity name, they really did make a whole thing around this. So it's not just a comic book creator from Marvel, which who really cares about that? This is a Hollywood star. So they were gonna roll out the red carpet, and then they went on strike. So they sent us a very apology letter, but they'll try to make it up. If they're able to meet and negotiate a good deal, they'll come back and they'll make up for it toward the end of our campaign.
Well, Sean, we wish you the best of luck. We encourage people to go visit you at New York Comic Con. I put the link in the chat. It will be in the show notes. As always, Sean, we love to see you. Mike, you want to play him out with a round of applause and maybe some music? And we'll say we'll see you this. All right,
thanks for having me on, guys, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Thank you, Sean. Bye-bye now.
Hi, Sean.
That was good. He was a good pop-on guest.
It was good. Sean's always a good guest.
He's always a good guest.
Even if he's just a pop-on.
Yeah. So I like that we've got new people who are popping on and joining us for the show. It's kind of fun in a way, isn't it?
It's fun. It's always good to have pop-on guests.
That's right. So we keep giving to the audience, and hopefully the audience is enjoying it. Okay, let's get back to things. Archetypes and analogs. Clearly, you're an X-Men aficionado. I've known that for a long time. Gen 13, they were a great analog back when Wildstorm was coming out and Image came out. We read all the books because we had to.
Yeah, had to keep
Gen
up.
13 was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's still a good book. You go back and you could read some of those earlier issues. Not all of it, but most of it holds up really well, don't you think?
Yes. The first, the first run of it for the first, I'd say the first series, first 12 issues was really good.
Yeah, and what was nice about it was you were starting fresh in a universe with the creative people who had worked on X-Men books, able to now tell their own stories, not locked in with continuity, not having to dig into big backstories and histories, clean slate. And as a reader, it was encouraging because I knew I was starting from scratch, just like everybody else.
Yeah. You didn't even need the little Stan Lee things in the corner saying, remember what happened last episode, true believers?
Do it in Stan's voice.
Excelsior.
They have that VR thing that's causing some controversy of Stanley VR. AI Stanley.
Yeah.
Little I'm not even going to touch on it. All right, another archetype. Sean just left. I met Sean when he was working on Exo Manowar. The archetype. No, enough said. The archetype, of course, Iron Man. Completely different take on the analog. We've got a hero in a metal suit, except the analog for Exo Manowar was that it was Conan the Barbarian in the Iron Man suit.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so if you start to see the archetype and the analog for each of these, you've got, Batman, except he kills. You've got Superman, except I don't even know what to do. But when we get to Homelander and we get to Omni-Man, you're going to start to see how Superman can be twisted, that archetypical character. What was the Matthew Gift saying?
The PS1 classic, Iron Man versus Manowar.
PS1, wow.
Yeah.
Exo Manowar is an awesome character. I would like to write Exo Manowar. He's kind of like Thor Iron Man. Exactly, yes. So you got the suit, you add a twist. I think the suit was an outer space construct of some sort that brought a barbarian from the past into the future, into the present time. But yet still the same basic aesthetic. You've got a character in a suit blasting things. Yeah. And if you like Iron Man, when Exo came out, you liked Exo.
Yeah.
Now, were you reading many of the Valiants in that first wave?
I read a bunch of them in the first wave. I didn't ever follow through too much on them. It was great to have, all the first issues and you're reading all the crazy characters that they were coming up with. But I never really followed through on any of them.
I did. I stayed very, very close to the Valiant books, and it was a big thrill. I think last year or 2 years ago, we talked about when I wrote a story for a Valiant comic, and I was thrilled. It was just one of my bucket list items was to write something for Valiant, and bucket list achieved. Doesn't mean I don't want to continue Valiant. If you're watching the show, I do want to watch. I do want to write for you. So, all right, we got a couple more, and then we're going to go into the tips. This one's a gimme for you, Mike. I know you're a Fantastic Four reader. And also, you brought these both up. Talk to me about why these are analogs for the archetype of the Fantastic Four.
Because the Fantastic Four is a family. You got the four characters. You got Sue and Reed, who are married, the brother, Johnny Storm, and the best friend, Ben Grimm. And if you look at Astro City and The Incredibles, it's essentially that same storyline. You got in Astro City, you have the Thing, who is, kind of the same character as Rex. It
even looks like him.
Yeah. You have Astra, who is sort of like a Human Torch. She's got that look with the blazing glow around her. You have the brother and the sister, Natalie and Nick. and you have the grandfather and the uncle, who are like sort of like the Reed Richards characters. They come up with all the ideas and they make all the weapons, and they're out there fighting the bad guys with the rest.
And I think what was great about this was when Kurt Busiek released Astro City. I think it was Brent Anderson was the artist. I think this is an Alex Ross cover. It was so clear, even by the name of the team. What was the name of the team?
It's the First Family.
First Family. And it was great. And you were able to just enjoy those stories, and they were analogs for the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Now, Busiek could write for the Fantastic Four, may have even written for the Fantastic Four, but this was an opportunity for him to write it with no strings attached, make up his own backstory, do anything he wanted.
Yep, you can do anything you want with something like that. It's your own characters. You have their own backgrounds, their own lives, and it's great. You don't have to follow the canon of everything that happened before in Fantastic Four.
Now, let's talk about The Incredibles, arguably one of the greatest superhero movies ever created, at least in the top 10.
This is really, I mean, this is, essentially the Fantastic Four. You got the Thing, Strongman, the father, the Elastigirl, Stretchy. You got the daughter, Violet, who is essentially the Invisible Woman. And the only thing they changed was instead of the Human Torch, they got a speedster. And they even have little Jack, who's like Franklin Richards. He was born with all these crazy powers that even the family doesn't know how to control.
Now, what is special about this analog of the Fantastic Four? What makes the Incredibles special, Mike?
Because I mean, they're a family. That's what makes them all stick together.
Agreed. And one of the things that made the Incredibles so family-like was they took it from the perspective of young parents. The family of the Fantastic Four was a brother and sister, husband and wife, and a best friend, right? They were family, but virtual family. This is literally a biological family. And it is, I don't know, pick their age, mid-30s, early 40s, with 3 kids. First 2 kids, I think, in the first movie, and then 3 kids. But ultimately, it took the family of superheroes to the next level by quite literally making them a family. And even Mr. Incredible having a day job in the very beginning of the first movie, right?
Yeah, he was an insurance salesman. Didn't like it very much.
He didn't like it very much. But, there is a perfect example of an archetype and an analog. Now, some people can argue that, the Justice League and the Avengers, which one's the archetype? Take a pick.
Whichever one came first. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't even matter which came first. The Doom Patrol or the X-Men. Well, Doom Patrol came first, but X-Men was better, and then Doom Patrol got really good. Okay. Let's, decide which is the archetype and the analog. But what's notable here, and the thing I want to point out, and where we are going with this, is it is statistically unlikely that you or I, or maybe anybody that's on the show, except for Sean Chen maybe, will be working on the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, not very likely.
But if you wanted, you could make your own family of superheroes, just as Kurt Busiek did, and I think it was Brad Bird did The Incredibles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can take the as you say, the archetype and twist them just a bit, just enough, and now they're yours, and you can do anything you want with them.
Do anything you want. Okay. Once again, similar characters, different storytelling. I am a fan of Man-Thing and Swamp Thing. We're going to be doing an episode in the next month on Man-Thing and the writer Steve Gerber. So if anybody wants to start doing some pre-reading of Steve Gerber, including you, Mike, you will appreciate this episode because we'll be talking about the genius of Steve Gerber. What's interesting is both Man-Thing and Swamp Thing should have been essentially throwaway ideas. Just one shot. It's a monster that comes from a swamp. They're both kind of limited.
Yeah.
But in both cases, both Gerber and Alan Moore took them to amazing heights. Just tremendous stuff. Whereas you see all the way to the far right, you've got, we're going to magnify the slide here. This is an example of the Glob, which didn't really take the archetype of a swamp monster very far. You know what I mean? It was a swamp monster period.
Yes.
Right? Not a swamp monster, exclamation point, comma, except he's also this. It was just a swamp monster. Do you remember Malibu Comics and the original birth of the Ultraverse?
I remember Malibu, but I don't remember Sludge.
So Malibu originally was the sponsor publisher for Image Comics, if you remember.
Oh, I did not know that.
So Ross Ritchie was there, and Tom Mason, and many of those different creators. It was early in my journalism career. I was writing a lot about it. And the birth of the Ultraverse included a whole new world of heroes. I would say probably 80 to 90% of them were analogs for existing Marvel and DC characters. Basically, they took mainstream comic book writers and artists and just let them go wild with these characters. Sludge was essentially Swamp Thing or Man Thing, except instead of coming out of the swamp, it came out of the sewer. And I believe it was a police officer who came out of the sewer, but similar powers, smelly, stinky, just gross horror elements, battling evil, lots of characters that were just gross. But if you like Man Thing and Swamp Thing, as I do, I read Sludge. Aaron Lopresti was the artist, did a tremendous job. Aaron Lopresti still drawing to this day. Loved the character Sludge. Wish Aaron Lopresti had been able to continue with that.
Was Malibu, is that the Nightman? Because he was like a Batman analog too.
It certainly was. Good memory. And that became a TV show. That's probably why you remember it, Mike, because you were like, I could write this show.
Yeah.
So Malibu did come out with quite a few. And then I asked ChatGPT for some other characters, and it came up with Floronic Man, which was featured in the Swamp Thing series, another plant-based character. It was just the basic archetype was a plant-based, or in the Sludge case, like whatever based organic character, and then you just decided what you wanted to do with this. Now, I love swamp sludgy characters that are dirty and smelly and horror oriented. After working on this, I'm like, I could make my own sludgy type of character.
You totally could, and I think you should. That should be on your bucket list.
It should be. Now, when we get into the Steve Gerber episode, again, in November, I'm going to be covering this. I've lined up an expert, Mike, if you can believe.
I hope it's Steve Gerber.
Steve Gerber expert.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know you are. But we're going to talk about that. Alan Moore famously converting Swamp Thing into something that was really the foundation for Vertigo. What was that comment?
Toxic Avenger on steroids.
Ah, that's an interesting one. That's a good one.
And then Andrew Campbell made Kale Man.
Sounds very healthy.
Yes.
All right. So similar characters, different storytelling. Let's do it one more time. I would argue that Spectre came first because the Spectre was out in the 1940s, but was a completely different character. I think Ghost Rider was one of the definitive characters in the 1970s, dealing with issues of hell and, demons. Then Spawn came and put a fresh new twist on it with Al Simmons' Spawn and a lot of supernatural elements. And then the Darkness came in with Top Cow Comics, Garth Ennis writing that, Mark Silvestri drawing. Each one of them, Mike, brings a different element, which is just basically a variation now on the same archetype. And I can say probably none of them is the only archetype in this area. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Darkness. Was he a hell-based creature, or did he send people to hell, or do?
So like he was Estacado as his last name, and he was a mob boss's son. Gets mixed up in the demons and monsters that are part of the Witchblade universe. And where Witchblade is, Sarah Pizzini was a police officer and fights for good. The Darkness takes over Estacado. Again, I can't remember his first name, Jesse Estacado, but is the opposite and is a dark hero, I guess, for lack of a better term, is not Jackie Estacado. Thank you. Is not exactly a demon character, but it is very underworld. And if you like Ghost Rider and these reboots of the Spectre, and you like Spawn, you will probably like all of these. But the point being, if the Spectre came first and then later Ghost Rider came, DC had the Spectre, Marvel had Ghost Rider, McFarlane leaves and picks elements that he likes and puts it into Spawn. Spawn's got elements of Spider-Man. Spawn's got elements of hell and damnation. Look at the chain on the Ghost Rider. That looks like something Todd McFarlane would draw, right?
Yep.
Right, with the cape, and he's got the chains in Spawn. So he had drawn Ghost Rider. Okay, he threw the chains on Spawn.
Yep. Why not? Yep.
Oh, the dark, 90s flashbacks. I went back and reread The Darkness. There are elements of it that are really good. You're gonna have to pull that one back up. There are elements of that are really good, and then elements that don't hold up as well with all of these. So you noted Drawn Swords. Michael Turner's art was a huge influence on me. I don't know if Michael Turner ever drew The Darkness. He was famous for being on Fathom, right, Mike?
Wasn't he? He wasn't on Witchblade, was he?
Michael Turner was on Witchblade, and then he did his own series called Fathom through Aspen. But he was best known for Witchblade. I don't know if he ever drew Darkness.
I bet he probably had a little touch in there somewhere.
A little touch of the Darkness.
Yeah.
Do you like these hell-based characters? You and I had worked on more than one hell-based story. Do you find these appealing to you?
I like the look of Ghost Rider just because he looks neat. But all the others, like the Spectre, I think is just too overpowered. He's too strong to just be on a hangout superhero team.
Yeah, he's a godlike level character.
Yeah. So I think back in the 60s when he first came out, he wasn't as powerful, but they really overpowered him. But all the others, Spawn and The Darkness, which I don't know too much about, they were all okay. I never really followed them.
Yeah, he was a character of vengeance, the Spectre, and then Ghost Rider had a series called, what was it, Spirits of Vengeance. So, there are a lot of parallels. But again, we're touching on the archetypes. We're touching on the analogs. We're also touching on, there are characters that are so similar, but with different looks that you can pick elements that you like. And we're going to get into exactly what you can do as a comic book creator. And we have 5 tips for making your own characters, your own heroes, based on characters that you love. Now, Mike and I never review these ahead of time. So Mike is just as surprised when it pops up as the rest of you.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that there were 5 tips. Didn't know anything about them.
Yeah, but you played it well.
I'm looking forward to them.
You are. Okay, 5 tips. First one, read it out there for me, Mike.
First tip, add a unique twist. That's a good one. Yep. Take the character that you want, give him a little slight twist.
Right. You showed that with Fantastic Four and The Incredibles and The First Family. We showed that with Batman and Nemesis and similar characters. We can go on and on. The idea is, if you love these characters, and it's a long road to get to the X-Men. Even if you start off as a writer, it's going to be years of proving yourself before you get the opportunity. Even if you're the illustrator and you're really good, you are going to spend years before they trust you with the crown jewels of the Marvel Universe, be it Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman, Superman. It's going to take a while. Having this opportunity to draw your version of whatever character you love, it's an opportunity, but you have to add a twist to it, right, Mike? You just can't obviously draw the X-Men. You now have an opportunity. Fantastic Four, I'm going to make The First Family. What about you, Mike? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you definitely have to give them a unique twist, like you said with the First Family. It's the same family dynamic, but now you can twist it a bit, so it's not exactly the Fantastic Four, but it's similar enough that people will say, "Oh, that's like the Fantastic Four," so I'm going to read it.
Well said, Mike. Well said. That sounds like a clip. All right, number 2. Go ahead. You read them out.
Identify what you would fix about the archetype. Oh, Okay, so so for something like Batman, if you're like he should carry a gun and kill somebody, then that's how you make Nemesis.
Exactly. And I don't know why I put Homelander there. That should have gone with a different set of characters. Homelander is basically Superman.
Superman, yeah.
Yeah. And so is Archie in Pureheart, the Powerful.
John Stewart says he's going to have Batman, but he fights crime with his parents.
Why not?
Could do that.
Right? I think you've got Moon Knight, which is basically Batman with different gadgets and all dressed in white, but not necessarily Batman. And what you fixed about he fixes about the archetype is Moon Knight's pretty messed up as a character, has multiple personalities, is not well, and then is unable to differentiate between reality and fiction, has a curse put upon him. Batman stays firmly rooted in reality. Nemesis has no problem killing villains that are in his way. These are the kinds of things that you might read Batman and go, wouldn't it just be easier if he just killed the Joker?
Yes, much easier.
Right? Wouldn't it just be like, you know what? How many times is this guy? I'm going to put him behind bars. Right?
That's
Killer
exactly
Croc.
how I think Batman sounds too.
Yeah. How does he sound? Do the voice, because you're a voice actor, Mike.
I'm Batman. There you go.
I would do it like Bullwinkle and be like, today we will stop the villains.
See, that would be a good twist to put on your character.
Yeah. They speak like Bullwinkle. Okay. So you got to identify what you don't like about the characters. Again, Batman, just kill the Joker, be done with it.
Yep.
Right? Superman in the movie, the first movie by whatever Zach, whatever his name is, he kills. I didn't see that as a problem with Superman. He killed Zod, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like I didn't see that as a problem. I wasn't like, I really wish Superman would kill somebody. Batwinkle. John Swartz for the win. Do we have an award for John Swartz? At least give a round of applause for that one. That was good. The highlights reel. All right. Here you go, Mike.
Change facts. Backstory, the world, the cast. Yes, that's what you got to do. You take the new character. You take your unique twist and your things that you'd fix about the archetypes, and you give a whole new backstory to them. How they got their powers, what they're doing with their powers. You know,
I mean, legitimately, you have facts in the Marvel universe. What's the headquarters of the Fantastic Four? It is called the
Baxter Building.
Right. And where is the X-Men's headquarters for the School of Gifted Children? Where's that?
Westchester, New York.
Right. You can't change that. That is a fact. I put it in air quotes, but it's kind of the fact of the matter. And what you want to do if you're creating your own Fantastic Four, or you're influenced by The Incredibles, or you were influenced by Astro City, your touchstones may be different. Because maybe your world started because you're younger and you started with The Incredibles, and that is your iconic archetypical family book. Change some facts, put it in the future, put it in the past, put it in Europe. Everything happens in continental USA. West Coast Avengers was great at shaking that up. When Mark Waid took over Daredevil a few years ago, he famously took him out of New York City and set him in San Francisco, making it very difficult for Matt Murdock or Daredevil to swing around the city. Number one, there weren't as many tall buildings. Number two, he wasn't familiar with the city, and that shook things up. So change the backstory. You even noted in Astro City, you have a different type of cast. It's a little different. Or the stretching powers is because the mother in The Incredibles is stretched thin as a parent. Right? Mm. These are the kinds of things that you want to change. Change the world. It doesn't have to take place on the planet Earth. Put them in outer space, right? It's The Incredibles in outer space. It's Swamp Thing in outer space. Why not? Incredible Hulk in outer space. They send him to Planet Hulk. Great story.
Yep. Batman fighting crime with a moose and a raccoon sounds like a winner.
It sure does. Matthew, I bet that's in your next Kickstarter. All right, what are we up to? We're up to 3.
We need number 4.
Tonight. Okay. Do something. Go ahead, you read it, Mike.
Here's
You're
something
the reader.
bold and unexpected, like the Invincible. Yes, with Omni-Man.
I will tell you, I read Invincible when it first came out. I'm a Kirkman fan. I've always enjoyed Kirkman's work. Was just picking them up, and when they revealed Omni-Man, I was like, what an amazing twist. I mean, Kirkman completely blindsided me with this twist. I'm like, this is our Superman character with a mustache. He's a dad. What a great story. He put a little twist, and then he completely flipped it on its head.
Yep, he made him the bad guy.
Not just the bad guy, like a really, really bad guy.
Oh, yeah, not just he's going to go to the other side. He wants to take over the entire planet, kill everybody on it, or
right.
keep
So what Kirkman was very good at first in Walking Dead, which was like, why does the zombie thing have to be a 2-hour movie? Why doesn't it just go on and see what life is like with zombies forever? And threw the genre on its head and wrapped it with a love story and a love triangle in the very first arc. He does it again, being bold and unexpected. If you're going to do the Fantastic Four, Incredibles, Superman, Batman, don't just tell a pedestrian story. Don't just do a story that's a pretty good Batman story. Do a story that when people collect the stories, they put it in the greatest Batman stories ever told. They put it in a hardcover edition with a leather cover, and they get the little bookmark thing that comes with it. That's the kind of story you have to tell, Mike.
They might even want to put it in resin.
They do want to put it in resin. I happen to have resin covered comics. Hey, listen, there's a reason why I chose some of these stories, because I was blown away by the innovation that Barry Windsor Smith brought to Wolverine when he did Weapon X. Mm-hmm. That was bold.
Yeah.
It's still bold. You go back and reread it, it's still bold. So, Mike, as a fellow writer, if you get a chance to write Batman, you're going to have guardrails.
Yes.
They're going to give you guardrails. There are certain things you can and cannot do. There are certain main characters that you can introduce, you can kill, you can change the status, but mostly it is like a sitcom. Remember, we took that sitcom class together.
Yes.
This concept of return to normalcy.
Yeah.
You got to put the toys back. Yep. Unless you're the regular writer.
Yeah.
You're the creator. If you're doing a creator-owned property, like I'm doing with Unmade Men, I do anything I want. You're the creator of, what's the name of your Substack?
The Self-Imposed Exile.
Self-Imposed Exile. You could do anything you want. You could be like, this is so then I know you're pantsing some of this. Who knows? An alien spaceship might come down.
It's possible.
It's up to you. You could just be like, I'm going to shake it up, and it's my comic. It's my Substack. I do whatever I want. But you got to be bold, and you have to be disruptive, and you have to say, wow, I love what Mike Fasolo did with that character. I'd love to see what he does with our characters. I mean, after Walking Dead, they invited Robert Kirkman to take the Marvel characters and then have them do Marvel Zombies. Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, he did
Worked out pretty well.
He did a good job.
He did a great job. So if you were to take over the X-Men, Mike, you're not going to do just an issue, right?
Oh, well, no, I'd get the whole series.
But if you had to tell a story now and they were like, Mike, you're never going to write X-Men, but you decide you're going to write your version of the X-Men, you're going to write the living heck out of that.
Oh, yes. That's going to be new and bold and unexpected.
And chocolatey.
And chocolatey.
All right. Last but not least, Mike, here's the inspirational. Do we have inspirational music? I don't think we do.
I don't think so, no.
All right. Read it out, baby.
Make it and get it out there, even if you self-publish. That's the most important one.
Yeah, Mike, I think we're going to do this. We're going to do hold on. We're going to go. Both Self-Imposed Exile and Unmade Men are projects that we are bootstrapping ourselves. We are taking the financial risk. We are taking the risk with our time. We are taking the risk with our reputations. But we both believe so strongly in what we're doing that we're not waiting for somebody to give us the green light to go write a story with their characters. I'm not waiting for somebody to come along and go, hey, how would you like to write a post-apocalyptic story with monsters? I'm like, I'm going to just do Apocalypse Boulevard. Did it sell well? Not really. Did I cover my Kickstarter? Maybe.
And you got it out there.
But I got it out there.
Yes.
That's it. It's done. You can come to my table if I ever get a table again. I'll be at New York Comic Con. I won't be tabling. But pretty soon you'll see Unmade Men. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not waiting around for permission, and neither should anybody else. You should be putting your book out, putting out your blog, putting out your novel, because life's short and you're probably not going to write the X-Men.
That's right. That's right. YOLO, bud.
What is YOLO?
You only live once.
Oh, that's right. Next Men.
It's going to be all his kids talk about.
Next Men. That was John Byrne did that, right?
Oh, I don't know. Did he?
Yes, he did. We had an inspiring episode, Mike.
We did. We even got Deanna saying, "Get it done."
Get it done.
And she's an editor. She knows.
Next week when you run this show, you're going to get her done. All right. So, Mike, what's going on here? You're continuing to stay on track. This is 6 weeks of Mike being consistent.
Yes,
and they say that in The Power of Habit, which I have on my bookshelf over there, it takes 5 weeks to form a new habit. You have now passed the transom, and you are now at week number 6. You have, Mike, created a new habit. What do you think about that?
I like that. Now I just have to make it a permanent habit.
So I think what's great is you're doing the thing. I don't know how many subscribers you got right now, but it doesn't even matter. You're doing the thing.
I'm getting the thing done.
You're getting the thing done, and we are gosh darn proud of you, Mike. And we hope that people check out your Substack. Let me see if I can put it right here in the chat so they don't have to look for it. Stand by as I do things that I should have prepared in advance. So I'll do that. They can find that in the chat window. What do we got? Our social media evolution continues. Sorry, folks, I didn't have time this week to pick a star of the week, but New York Comic Con is this week. You will find me at New York Comic Con wandering around aimlessly. If you do find me, I will have some Marvel Uchida markers with me. And if you find me, I will give you something free. Redheaded Ed has my phone number. So if you find Redheaded Ed, aka D Alley, she will help you find me. Deanna will probably be there. Mike, you will not be there, will you?
I will not be there. No, I will be out here in sunny California.
Are you ever coming back to the East Coast?
Yes, at some point. I don't know when, but some point.
Yes. Yes, you're going to have to they're going to do a Where's Waldo. That's right. All right, Mike, give me my play out music.
All right. Let me, okay, you ready?
Go. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday, just like every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Carteret Comic Exhibit still has the resin art on exhibit. You can still see it through the month of October. Again, you'll see me at New York Comic Con, and you will see next week, you will see Deanna Destito and me try to get through the show without Mike. Mike, we love everybody who joins us every week. We thank you for joining our show. We'll see you next week. And of course, in the meantime, keep making comics. Hey, thanks, Victor. Good night, everybody.